Hey guys, it's Dr. Amanda Bledsoe. Let's talk about your feet and let's go back to the beginning. So, walking is kind of a big deal, right? We all have to do it. Now let's think way back to when you first walked. And of course, you've got kids and grandkids, and it is such a joy and a big deal to see them take those first steps. So you may not know, you're not born with arches. So they start walking, they don't have any arches, you didn't have any arches, but by the age of 5 to 7, you start forming those arches that hold your feet up. Well, what else starts happening 5 to 7? You are active. So there is sports in kindergarten and backpacks and running across the playground and falls and sports and rodeos and whatever else you do with these brand new arches. Those arches start falling really quick too. So 7 to 10 years old, you're still an active kid, and now you formed arches, you've already started losing them. Those arches are kind of like a rubber band. When they break, there is no putting them back together. Now there's good news, but let's keep going with how life goes on. So again, you're in high school, you're in college, you're still feeling pretty invincible, right? In your 20s, you can kill it and go to bed and wake up and kill it again, and you're waitressing at night and you're going to school during the day. Something happens maybe around 40 to where you wake up and you did yoga really gently and you go, holy cow, what happened? And you think you just fell apart. Well, again, think about that story. You really started falling apart way back. You just had the beautiful gift of not feeling it quite yet until that tipping point came along with just time. Again, you've been walking on those feet long enough, standing on your feet. Maybe you're 40 and you've been standing on concrete in a hospital as an ER nurse for 10 years, and now you're like, I think my arches fell. I think they did. And so bad news is, even those of you who think you've got good arches, that's true. And at first when I started, I haven't always been a foot expert, even as a chiropractor, and I actually was a foot patient well before I was a foot chiropractor. So 8 years old, I went to a podiatrist. I got a piece of orange hard plastic, wore it for not very long, didn't like it. Fast forward, several years, and I'm a chiropractor looking at folks' feet because it's all connected. So again, go back to that 40-year-old nurse that's been standing on concrete, and now the length of time that you've been standing there with one really good arch that you're so proud of and 2 fallen arches. Let's say you don't even feel your feet hurting yet. Okay, there's more to the story and it's all connected. So let's look at me as a chiropractor in our clinic. Why do we care about your feet? Well, because they're the beginning of the story. So what happens maybe around 40 is you've been standing on your feet at the ER, now your knees are hurting. So they've likely had some issues since you might have been 12, you just didn't know it. So knee pain is going to be a symptom of a foot problem, of fallen arches. The hips start hurting. And I've even had people, this is what's so exciting, is they come in and their hip is hurting, their knee is hurting, their foot is hurting, and I can save them 3 different doctor's appointments by evaluating their feet, showing them their hips on an x-ray. So this is a predicted pattern of what's going to happen, what did happen as you were growing in your adolescence. This whole crooked reaction happens between the ages of 10 years old and 18. And so again, you're 40, you're still really young. Our oldest patient's about 95. So 40, you're still young, but you've been crooked, imbalanced, flat-footed, partially, sorry to tell you, for the last 30 years. So no wonder you're hurting. So we tell our patients, good news, you're not crazy. You're feeling real things in your knees, in your hips, even your shoulders, that are related to your feet. So this is so exciting for me that the solution, part of the solution, is putting something that is comfortable, that is not hard plastic, that fits your different shoes. This goes right in there. I've had patients that have sought out other inserts, and that's fantastic that you're at least seeking that out. You went to the kiosk somewhere. Anything is better than nothing, but it's not enough. It does tell you that, hey, it helps, but we want to go custom. Maybe you got one that fits in a dress shoe, but it slides around. Ours don't slide around. This is a good company that we partner with, Foot Levelers, that's been around a long time. Even this Fifth Avenue dress orthotic is brand new, redesigned just this year because we listen to our patients. We tell them they reformat these. So they're Velcro into your shoes so they don't slide around. You can put them out of this shoe into another shoe. You can even get custom flip-flops. So I've had patients that all they wear is flip-flops. Maybe they wear these in their ER nurse athletic shoes. Great. cushiony, shock absorptive, so many great benefits beyond just your 3 arches. But then you come home, this is your new barefoot. So the goal is 24/7 permanent artificial support, because remember, those arches falling like a rubber band, we can't glue it back together. But good news, there's hope. You can stand in these flip-flops. You could get married in these flip-flops. You could walk on the beach in these flip-flops. And it's not that your feet aren't hurting, they're not. But just like me yesterday, wearing these all day, about a 10-hour shift, and no pain in my back when I got done with the shift, in my knees, in my hips, in my shoulders, and not in my feet either. So it's all connected, and here's how we start. We're gonna scan your feet. So on your very first visit to our clinic, not only are we gonna visit with you, investigate your body and your history and all those things, we're gonna scan both of your feet and get a custom laser 3D scan. We're also then typically going to do digital x-rays, so that then on day 2, I can show you foot scan and x-rays and go over the solutions. You're then able to select and tell me, do you wear work boots and you're in water all day? Then we're gonna wanna go with a more durable top. You're having sweaty feet and you're working with an athletic kind of job or nursing, then we're gonna choose a different top based on what you do. So you get to keep wearing the shoes with a heel or the flip-flops. So many options that still give you custom relief. You may have a really great, what I call host shoe with a good sole and a good bottom. It just doesn't know your body. It doesn't know all the ins and outs. The 2 orthotics that come in are gonna be custom because your 2 feet aren't the same, your 2 hips aren't the same. So a different orthotic for both left and right that is custom to you. So it starts with that free foot scan. We show you the results. We give you options of how you can get these orthotics in your shoes, and then hope is on the way. So just remember, your feet start to fall apart at a very early age, but good news, at Bledsoe Chiropractic, we believe not just your back and your body should feel good, but your feet too. That's why we're giving hope through healing at Bledsoe Chiropractic.